set apart? How are we supposed to be set apart from what is profane? When all, especially here in the West, when everything is profane, when everything in the culture is botched, even the houses, you know, houses aren't built to last. They're not built to last on purpose. You know, they're disposable homes. Everything's disposable. You know, how profane is that? Like everything's like a lighter. You know, you click it a few times, it runs out, you throw it away. Your disposable diaper. You know, you put it on the kid, he takes a crap, you throw it away. How do we do that? I mean, we live in these little HUD homes, and that's really all they are. All of these homes, they're all just HUD homes. Go in there, you live in it for a couple of years, destroy it good and thoroughly on the inside, and then just take off and leave. You know, you find another place. And you know, with the economy collapsing and coming down around our ears, you know, we're about to go into some serious depravity because, like I said before, you know, society is only 3 meals away from totally breaking down. There are people who've never skipped a meal. Even poor people live like kings in this country compared to what goes on in other nations. You know, people who live in communist nations, they live in squalor. And I'm not even talking about the underground church in those nations. I'm just talking about the day-to-day people, because they are all equally miserable, except for a little oligarchy on the top. How are we going? This country, how is this country? This country is primed to fall hard. You know, we've got networks and networks of little tunnels run all the way through this country for our so-called elite to go sequester themselves while this all falls to shit. And they're ready to pull the plug. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Are we going to band together in little tribes and try to ward off the zombie hordes? You know, these zombie movies are just making fun of you. You out there who aren't awake, aren't aware, totally depraved. You're unclean. You're profane. And they call you profane. It's because they see themselves as something completely different than you. What do we do about that? You better be working on some real relationships, because that's the only thing going to hold this thing together. If you got dregs in your life, you better get them out, because they'll turn on you so fast. The scripture says that your worst enemies will be those of your own household. I can see that. I can see that quite clearly. They're hungry. The government's asking you to turn people in for whatever reason. They'll turn their family members in for a cracker. They'll turn you in for rotting cabbage and sewage water. Really quite pathetic. We've been that debased. We have no moral anchor. We are rudderless as a society. And I know I'm speaking in generalizations. I'm not talking to those people who are doing what they need to be doing to survive this collapse. I'm not talking to those people. I'm talking to the boobs, the intellectual boobs, the hyper-educated retards who think this will go on forever. This is a total travesty. We are primed to fall hard. We are being led as sheep to slaughter. We've been fatted like the cat. One big nation of Kobe beef being served up on a platter of sewage. Nice, greasy pork chop served in a dirty ashtray.